What's up, y'all? I just wanted to record this moment. It's a beautiful day, and I just purchased Tropicana on sale for $2.50. As we all know, Tropicana is the Grammys of the orange juices. It is the Academy Award winning every year running of orange juices in life on the planet, and I got this for $2.50 Canadian. So transfer that into your own currency, if you will. Literally went out to get this orange juice, and I ended up with a plethora of blessings. Check this blessing out. Hummus, the best hummus, the Fontaine Santé traditional, and then fresh baguette, lit. And I was on my way home, and I kept wanting to sit down. This is a beautiful sunny day. Look, I'm not even wearing a jacket. It's Canada, it's November, which is kind of irregular weather, if you really ask me. I've lived here a long time, on and off, and visited a bunch of places. But in terms of Canada and November weather, like maybe in Vancouver this would be normal, but and I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining in the sense of like, I'm not saying I'm not enjoying this temperature or this casual, really nice November day where I'm either I'm not wearing gloves, a winter tube, or a winter jacket. I am wearing the appropriate footwear though, for any attire, for any weather, really. But yeah, I wanted to record this because it was funny. I sat down, right? I took this, there's this little area here. So I sat masked down and I took a sip of this delicious gold standard of orange juice. And then I realized I have a fresh baguette on the hummus. I even have grape tomatoes. We all know I like grape tomatoes. What was the fifth thing I got? Oh, oat milk. Silk oat milk. Best one. My opinion. My humble opinion. IHO. Beautiful day. Like, the sun is out. The sky is blue. I feel really blessed. In a lot of ways. These past few months have had very interesting challenges for me. But the blessings and the beauty has been beyond really explanation or anything that I really want to explain or even have to or ever will. But I will say this. I think something really beautiful is when you surrender to the universe in terms of like, I know you're here. I know good forces exist and I'm one of them. And I believe in you in the same manner in which I believe in me. I think the universe appreciates that faith and that like confidence because you really need belief. Belief is hella important. Belief is super important for survival. Cannot stress it enough. The mere belief that you have human rights, because you do. The mere belief that the environment has rights, because it does, right? These beliefs make them real, right? Like one of the things that I find so interesting about the discourse around the concept of God is like, there's those people who are atheists, right? And fair play, like everyone's got their own spiritual beliefs, right? Agnostic, atheist, whatever. Like everybody's got their own belief system. But I find it interesting that at the very least, people don't actually realize that God is real. And here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that God is real in the way maybe the Catholic Church explains to you, maybe the way your synagogue explained it to you, whoever, right? Whoever you first found out about God and interacted with God with, however they explained it. I am not saying, wow, that's so interesting. I just saw an ambulance and it's a different one. I'm like, that one looks like it's American. It's Kanawake. Why is that? I've never seen an ambulance like that. Kanawake, if you don't know, is it's an indigenous reservation near Montreal. I've never seen that in my entire life. And so I was like, whoa, that looks like I'm in Queens or something. And then I was like, wait a second, that says Kanawake on it. Anyways, so as I was saying about God, I was just making the point, I was making the point that God is real as a character, at least, right? Like, we have to, when we're talking about entities and when we're talking about especially deities and, even if you don't believe in God that you were explained to originally when you arrived into this planet, onto this planet, we're socialized, right? You don't have to believe in that God, right? The way they explained God to me, like, obviously that's not like, yeah, that's not the way I see God, right? There's elements of who God is that are similar, perhaps, and can be drawn parallels, but it's not the same entity. I interact with the universe, God, source energy, and a higher power in a way that makes sense to me, as I've seen based in evidence in my lifetime, and what I know to be true for my life, right? And everybody has, I just sprayed it, didn't say it. Everybody has their, whoa, lots of leaves. Gust of wind, drama is ensuing. Coffee place, the bag she's holding, going there later. Anyways, so, yeah. The way I see it, I've been thinking about this. I was like, it's so interesting because everybody wants to be like one up on someone. Everyone's so in this like power struggle game with people they don't even fucking know, or just crossing paths with for 20 seconds, maybe 20 minutes, and they feel like they have to do this thing where they establish a power differential where someone is above and they are it, right? That gives them, that's what gives them their fuel. I find it hilarious many times, because it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Everybody wants to be better than the next person and the same, and believes they are the same, right? Like take me for instance, right? I'm not going to go through all my strengths, but let's talk about some that are clear. I'm a creative inspo and energy and outlets and modalities, they're my jam, right? Someone could cross me on the street and see, I don't know, maybe I'm wearing like a t-shirt with a painting on it that I made, so I made the t-shirt. Maybe my nails were painted nicely and I painted them. Maybe there's so many things to think of. Maybe I dressed well, right? My color coordination that day is on point. Maybe I look healthy, maybe I look happy. People will literally look at whatever it is that you have that they deem positive or they recognize as being like better, not better than what they have in that realm, right? But they haven't put in half the amount of work you put in it. They haven't put in the hours, and they also don't know shit all about you and your struggle, right? All of that is true. And they still want to, the best they can come up with in the moment to ameliorate the situation for themselves is to be like, I'm gonna make this person feel bad for a minute somehow. I'm gonna take away from their positive energy, and that somehow is gonna make them feel good. When it comes to God, like, we're all different in that sense too, I think. I mean, obviously, can't say for certain. I only know what works in my life, right? I only know the time I was being attacked. And a dude had me on the floor. I was in a dress and heels. I just nailed him in the balls with a roundhouse kick because he was about to smash my head into some glass, and I saw it in the reflection. After he had just attempted to throw me on a bed and was attacking me physically. He was on top of me, and I screamed at the top of my lungs, God. Like that, I just shrieked it, God. And I got vocals, right? I don't know what happened. I shit you not. I swear, I'm not lying. I don't really care if it's a lie. I'm not. It felt like a gust of wind, right? I felt something like pass between us. The dude lifted his hands and I rolled out and bolted. I was in a basement. I ran up the stairs, ran down the hall, ran out the back door, and I was, no longer in that fight. I was no longer in that assault, right? That attack. Another instance where, I can prove God exists, at least for me. Definitely that first night, I was locked in overnight in my, hospital room / cell. And then scary dude was looking, who looked like the dude in Harry Potter, you're not really supposed to talk about. It was his first night working. And he was so evil, I could sense the evil, I could smell it off him. Everything about him said, this is going to be a rough night. And it's the first night I got locked in my hospital room overnight for no fucking reason, just because he was evil, right? So, and I made it through the night. I actually talked to Jesus a lot that day. A lot of crosses were drawn. Anyways, point being, we all have different experiences. We all come from different places. We all have different lives, circumstances, parameters that guide our existence, entities. We all have different essences, dog. We all have different, like, yeah, sure, like, we're all human. We all got blood running through our veins for the most part. For those of us that are human. Some of y'all might not be. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all aren't. But I digress on that point. But the point I'm making is all of our lives are different. And our particular struggles and strengths and attachments and connections to gods and entities and icons from the past and public figures and artists and musicians and muses and mirrors, like, we're all different. So stop trying to one-up the other person who's been working on something and put in the 10,000 hours plus to be an expert or a master in that area, right? Stop trying to stop praising these people and like treating them like they're deities when they're really just sometimes really subpar artists. That's a shot. Shots fired. Subpar artists who, like, diss women on the regular are comfortable doing that. It's like, stop. And the material obsession on this planet in this point in time, it's gotten way worse over the past couple decades. I'm not gonna lie to you. The way people, it's like at the center of everyone's universe is money, right? Money. All they fucking see is the money, the money, the money. All they want. All they fucking want. They look at you. You might have 2 cents in your fucking savings, and they're looking at you like, oh, she's wearing a Burberry scarf. I hate her right now. Why, dude? I can't count the number of days I was physically tortured and falsely imprisoned, and you're jealous of my smile? You're jealous that I'm wearing a cashmere scarf that's from Burberry? My Yankee cap looks clean? My nails are appropriately, why? Figure your shit out. I figured my shit out. It's really that fucking simple, but people want to take away what you have. There's a power exchange that's constantly going on. I don't know where I know her from, but did I get her, see her at the grocery store? I don't know, I just saw her somewhere. Anyways, the point I'm making is, like, do you, right? Figure out what you is, do you. Like, I'm in my mid-30s. I know I look hella younger most of the time. I don't mind looking mid-30s, even if I really did fully look mid-30s, because I'm proud as fuck of being in my mid-30s. Women are like, anti-aging thing. That's one of the dumbest words I've ever seen. So dying, right? Like dying, like trying to look young forever, like that's optimal? No, fuck that. Laugh lines, women are like, I don't want laugh lines. I actually heard a conversation the other day when I was here at the Ritz, right? I was having tea time, and there was a woman, 2 women at a table behind me. Oh, is my phone ringing? There were 2 women at the table behind me, and they were talking about, they were talking about Botox, right? They were fully talking about Botox. And they were saying some shit about, like, not wanting their face to move or something about aging lines. I don't know. I just remember her saying some weird shit about not wanting her face to move. And I was like, dude, like, what are we doing to ourselves? Like, and this isn't exactly a judgment thing, because everybody comes, for all I know, that chick's from, like, above Sunset in LA or, like, the Upper West Side or, like, I don't know, somewhere in Dubai. She's pretty white, though, so she's probably from North America. Anyways, or England. No British accent. The point I'm making, y'all, is, like, you gotta think about your health first. You gotta think about your happiness first, your joy first, and who you are first. People are so hell-bent on trying to take something that they cannot take from another person to get in their path, distract them, throw obstacles in their way so they can't get to their fucking destination on time, right? Which God has already preset and destiny has already decided is going to happen. They will try and get in to block the inevitable of what will be happiness in your fucking life, because they're fucking miserable and they actually don't have enough creativity, unique energy, and positive resources to look at their own damn selves and say, I got X, Y, and Z, going for me, but they're looking at what you have going for you and how they can fuck that up for you. Really, right? I could prove these things. I could prove it scientifically, right? I feel very confident in the things that I'm saying because I know I'm correct. It's disappointing to find out, that I'm now in my mid-30s, and this is the first time in my life where I can really say I'm really me. And I mean that. I'm the authority over me. I'm allowed, and not only am I the authority over me, but I give myself the freedom to be me. My dog Penny, I raised her in a very, 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 very particular way. When I was gifted with that beautiful sentient being and being her mother, I made it was instinctual, but I knew that my method of raising her was to let her blossom into the individual and the sentient being she is. There was this dude that I knew. He was chilling at my place, which is a friend, acquaintance friend, and he was chilling at my place one day. I was in my apartment in the plateau with Penny, and Penny, she tricked me into getting her a cookie in the cupboard that was behind me, right? She like, like shepherds, like they shepherd, their instincts kick in, they like corral you to like the location of their choice. She did that with me, but oh, so sorry. I hope that booger wasn't showing the whole time. I don't really care though. Oh no. I do care. Anywho, I'll wrap this up. So she like, I don't remember exactly how she did it. All I knew was, the next thing I knew, I was standing by the cookie cupboard. She was looking up, smiling at me, because everybody knows my dog Penny has the most beautiful, biggest, whitest, brightest, happiest smile, especially when she's looking at me. And I was looking up at the cupboard smiling. I was smiling down at her. I'm like, you are so sweet. And I was so proud of her because she had actually, it wasn't manipulation. She had guided me. She's a canine, and at this stage, we didn't have those buttons at the time. So at this stage, she could not express herself through speech, even mechanically, right? But she expressed herself and she guided me to her need in that moment. Her need was, I want a treat, mommy. Her need was, I'd like a cookie, mommy. And my dog always knew. It's funny, my dog is super well trained. She's very well trained. She's a beautiful being, but she was never trained with, most people train their dogs with treats, right? They're like, oh, you did something good, here's a treat. They even bring them on walks, and fair enough, it's a good tactic. Like, it works for like short-term success and for whatever you might be, however your lifestyle might work or what you learned or whatever. I'm not dissing it. I'm just saying I never used it, and I really didn't want to, because point being, like, if I'm not training myself with Oreos in the same fucking manner, I'm not training my dog the same way with her goddamn milk bones, right? But in that moment when she guided me to get her the cookie, that dude said out loud, he said to me, and this was the last time I saw him because he said this shit, right? He said, she's too intelligent, word for word. She's too intelligent. Those 3 words. The too intelligent meant you gotta go and you're not welcome back and you can't come back here. Everyone has a different journey. Everyone has a different life. Everybody has a different purpose on this planet. My purpose is 2 words, 1 term, children's rights. That's my purpose. That's my core. That's my essence. That's why I'm on this planet. That's the work I am here to do, and I know it, right? Made some very important decisions as of late. I'm very proud of them. I'm so proud of them, and I'm so proud of myself that I hold myself accountable, right? Like, if I do something that I don't agree with, or if something doesn't go, how I intended, or like if something makes me feel a certain way, or if I get, I assess it. It's not an analysis per se, but I reflect, right? I reflect on it, and I always ask myself, okay, so that didn't go in X, Y, and Z manner. What did you learn, though, so that next time you can avoid that type of outcome and actually get the desired outcome? And then there's the questions. Did you have fun? Did you enjoy yourself? Was there nutrition involved? Was there happiness involved, There's a lot of reasons to be proud of yourself in any given day, right? Just waking up and going out of the house and picking up some groceries, that could be reason enough. Writing the hardest bars you've ever written in your fucking life, that could be, reason enough. Doing your nails could be reason enough. Smiling could be reason enough. Be proud of yourself, because there are so many assholes. There are so many forces and literal evil that is working against you. You, whoever you are right now, if you're evil or you're good or you're anything in between, right? Anything. There's a million forces at play in the universe at any given time. Millions. Really millions. Like so many. Identifiable ones, unidentifiable ones. There's different beings on, outside of this planetary realm. Like there's just so many different dimensions that exist in existence. And you gotta wonder something. If that's the case, and that's definitely reality, why the fuck are you frowning because someone else is smiling? And how do you think that you'll achieve a smile by turning their smile into a frown? But then you see that you're even unsuccessful at that, right? So it's just futile energy that you wasted. That literally just like down the drain. Straight down the drain. Not even the fun Australia, like, I'm gonna go backwards. Like Mercury retrograde type shit. So, celebrate your moments of beauty. I'm on vacation this week. A self-imposed vacation. It was really hard. I literally put down a sticker for an entire week that says vacation. And I'm really proud that I did that. I'm really proud that when I found myself in a truck in the Bronx and I had a very spiritual moment in a very dangerous situation, I knew enough about spirituality in the moment to trust the experience I had just had spiritually speaking. And the next thing I know, I realized the dude sitting next to me in this truck is holding my money, my Canadian money, and he's looking at it as fucking alien money. I said to him, who the fuck, and this is, you should understand physically what the situation was. I was in a Victoria's Secret black bralette, lingerie, lace. I was in Old Navy denim, ripped jeans, and I was barefoot, and I was in the Bronx, and all my stuff had been stolen, my laptop, my passport, everything. And I looked at him and I said, who the fuck are you, right? And I guess something him registered that, oh shit, now he's in danger, right? I might have been in danger 10 seconds ago, but something in these past 10 seconds took place and a light bulb went off for me, and I recognized danger whenever drugs they had somehow given me to get me into that situation, because there was definitely drugs in that water bottle. Whatever they had done to manipulate my brain that day, it was wearing off in that moment, and my instincts to self-defend were coming into play. So I looked at the dude and I said, who the fuck are you, right? And then I took my foot and I went like this over the thing and onto his side, right? I grabbed my $300 Canadian. He moved. I got out of the truck. I walked off the property that I was on. And then as soon as I hit the highway in the Bronx, New York, barefoot in a bra and ripped jeans, I booked it. I started running like those fucking not Robocop, the dude, what's the dude, in Terminator? Exactly like that. I ran like that. I ran into the subway. I jumped the turnstile. I don't remember seeing someone there, but I didn't even think. It was like in high school when you're just doing hurdles, just like, right? Fly onto the subway. I'm on the actual subway, and people are looking at me, but it's New York, right? And not only is it fucking New York, but it's the Bronx. So people are looking at me, but they're trying not to look at me. I get that. I understand. They don't want to know. They don't want to be a witness to whatever they're seeing, but they are, right? I looked those people in the face. I looked them in the eyes, and I said, look at me. I said, look at me. I said, I'm the person who's protecting your kids. Remember that. This is not normal, what you're seeing right now. Like, don't let this fucking be normal. And then I sensed that there was some danger, and then instead of getting off the exit, the stop I was going to get off at, I got off the stop and I ran again. More like a Foothills runner at that point. Foothills team runner, because I was on the Foothills team. And then I ran straight into a Wendy's. They gave me a t-shirt. They asked me if I wanted them to call the cops. I said, absolutely. They called. The dude in the ambulance said some shit to me that really broke my heart. They told me that he saw my situation. The next thing I know, I'm in the hospital in the Bronx on a heart monitor. And I'm in the Bronx for about 4 weeks now. By the end of that, right? So, how did I get out of the hospital? I'm trying to think of how I got out of it. How did I get discharged? I just got discharged, I guess. I'm trying to think of how they discharged me though without an address. Anyways, point I'm making is that story is probably really foreign to you. You may have never heard a story like that. I unfortunately have a few more that are similar. So stop comparing yourselves to me, right? Stop comparing yourselves to me, to others. We're not the same. We're not the same. You're not the same from anyone. We're all actual snowflakes. We're that unique. Might we have, the periodic table of elements? There's so many, right? We all have different numbers on the periodic table of elements. We all have different properties. Some are alkalines. We've all got different things, right? Some groups move similar, but they're all different. We're the same as human beings. We're the same as beings. Stop comparing yourself to the next dude. Stop looking at someone else's smile and saying, I've got a frown right now. That person doesn't deserve to smile. I don't deserve to smile. Do you know how much physical fucking torture I've experienced? I don't deserve to smile. Do you know that I am a mathematical genius? That's not even a lie. I have the awards to prove it. I'm a math and science genius, and I have tried with calculators and formulas to actually calculate the amount of time I have been falsely imprisoned for doing and the world is false. That goes before that, right? Like, there was no reason to imprison me. There was no justifiable reason to experiment on me. There was no justifiable reason to do all of the torture, physical, the violence, the trauma that was trying to be induced to break me from my path. Because guess what, bitches? I'm still fucking here. I'm here. Not only am I fucking here, but I'm so much stronger. And I'm finally at the point, and I was never mad at God for it. But I'm finally at the point where I'm like, I see why you put me there, God, right? Like, I get it. I get it with who I am and what my life has looked like my entire life. I get it. And it's not that I'm grateful for it, because trauma is never something you should be like, yes, give me more. I learned so much from this. I've grown so much from this. Fuck that. You didn't need that shit to grow, right? Like, take me, for instance. Right before they did that shit to me, I was just studying a master's in human rights in England, right? I was doing the master's in human rights in England. That was my area of expertise. That's why they wanted to fuck with my brain, because I had just created CCF1, which was the first phase of the child-centered framework. Now I'm working on CCF2 all day, all night, every day. I am my own boss. I am my own authority. I have kicked out all the assholes who were trying to fuck with my existence. I have kicked out all the fucking people from my life who were more than toxic. They were fucking poison. And they were trying to take their poison and pour it down my throat and tell me that it was fucking raining when I could see them fucking pulling their dicks out and pissing on me with spikes on blood and wounds, right? That's more than not even a metaphor. So my point is, y'all, don't compare yourself to me. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Actually, don't even really compare yourself to who you used to be. Look yourself in the fucking mirror right now and find out who the fuck you are. If you don't like it, make plans to change it. Start with small baby steps, and eventually you'll be doing real fucking strides. I can get to the top of a mountain in any type of footwear and be completely out of breath and completely fine, because I know exactly how to pace myself, I know exactly how to run, and if I am in danger in that moment, I know exactly what to use as a fucking weapon, if not myself, because I am always the most lethal one. These are facts. These are bars. I can flow like this because I haven't lied to you once. And that was the policy I used to get to this side, right? I did certain things right before they started experimenting on me for real, when they had me in their possession, when they had me in their custody, when they had already just created the lie. I could foresee the type of torture they were going to provide for me. I could see the entry point to the prison industrial complex that they had pushed me into. And I chose me now, right? I chose life. I chose existence. I challenge you to try and find a single fucking indicator on my skin, my body, in me. If you even did a DNA vitamin test, right? Try and do one. Try and find one single piece of evidence of a self-inflicted scar, wound, past trauma, right? That self-inflicted means I would have had to have done it. I challenge you to find a single one attempt on my actual body that is actual evidence of me ever even trying to take my own life. And I challenge you this because you won't succeed. There will be zero. If you find a scar, it's from someone else. And you can almost be guaranteed, if there's a scar on me, there's probably a worse one on them. Most of the time, right? Sometimes you gotta lose the fight, right? Why? Because there's cameras, they're monitoring you, and if you win this one, they're sending more next time, and it's gonna be worse. You don't have to understand me. That's the beauty of this shit. And you can pretend that you don't, because I know I'm making perfect fucking sense, and I can make perfect fucking sense in like 10 different languages, both spoken and nonverbal, right? So do yourself a favor. Stop fucking comparing your life to someone else's. Do yourself a fucking favor. Start looking at your blessings that you have because you woke up today, and stop trying to steal someone else's. Do me a fucking favor and leave my ass alone. Stay the fuck out of my lane because I got work to do all the fucking time, and I'm doing it. And I'm actually the fucking, you throw your hands up in the air, you type of people who throw your hands up in the air and you say, what's the thing people say all the time? It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. What's another thing people say that's stupid? But what can I do? Like, Figure your shit out. I figured my shit out, right? I'm figuring it out always. Changing me on your own terms was never gonna fucking work. The only person, the only entity outside of me that could actually change me or my character is God, and my understanding of God and that spirit itself. That's it. No human being alive can judge me. No human being alive can change me. And no organization, institutional or otherwise, is going to change who the fuck Arielle London is and who the fuck Arielle London is going to be for the rest of her fucking life. No one can change that shit. And you want to know how I can say that? Because y'all have tried and y'all have failed every single fucking time. The funny thing is, we all know I could have taken many legal routes. I could have sued a lot of people for a lot of fucking money, and obviously the thought crossed my mind. But did I? Did I open one lawsuit into any of you? No. I left you alone. Because my life, you had enough of my time. You dictated enough of my time, enough of my energy. And I decided, I'm Jennifer Lopez and that shit, it's enough. I'm going to take up Krav Maga, which I actually have a little bit in the past. And, I'm just going to take you down. I'm going to work on my preventative self-defenses, right? Because the point is this, the best self-defense you can ever have is a preventative one. When prevention doesn't work, you go to verbal. And if verbal fails and they aggress, you fucking knock them the fuck out. Your survival is paramount. Always. We are sentient beings. We are organisms on this planet. Every single organism, from a slice of grass to a fucking human being and beyond, has the instinct for survival. Every single one. Every single one of us is born in God's image, in the source and the universe and nature's image of who that individual is supposed to be as their own fucking entity in their own fucking right. And you're still fucking with me? Knowing spiritually who I am, knowing physically what I do in this realm. You're still fucking with the creator of CCF, the child-centric framework, the woman who dedicates morning, noon, and night, and sleep time. Right? And in my dreams, I'm working on this stuff. And you're fucking with me, homie? Nah, you way out of your league. Whoever you are, I know you're out of your league, and I know you're dumb. I know you're really dumb, because if you think about it, I would actually, just like I challenge you to try and find any form of self-mutilation, which you won't find, I would also encourage you to do your research and to find out what happened to the people who have tried to hurt me very directly. There was one woman, she's a woman now, she's my age, she was a best friend of mine, a best friend who put a gun to my head on my 15th birthday and said, "Smile, here's eggs." It was fully loaded, it was a BB gun. They were gonna pull the trigger. They almost made me on my 15th birthday. Anyways, this bitch, I saw her when I was homeless, and she told me what's happening in her life, and I could see something was up, right? I was like, whoa, why is this, like, something's weird, right? She told me what was going on, and she looked at me, and I was thinking something, but not exactly that, right? She looked at me, and she said, "I know what you're thinking, karma, right?" She's like, "I think it all the time." Because this bitch had snitched on me while I was in the, in their possession, in their custody. She snitched on me, gave them information that made me seem like I was dangerous when I was really self-defending, but she gave them the tools to actually, what did that do? That snitch thing, that incident, actually led to a 3-year forced medication order. That's 3 years of painful injections that debilitated me for at least a week at a time physically, not to mention 24/7 mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, right? 3 years of my life I was subject to that, and now every day she gets a version of what she did to me in a really bad way, but like with different terms, right? That's one instance of karma. Another one is everyone knows about my ex. Everyone knows about my ex. Everyone knows about my ex who raped me, right? We all know this story. She wrote a fucking book on it, right? Everybody knows about this shit. And so he raped me, right? But not only did he rape me once, he raped me 3 times that day. And then really, I mean, if the first time you have sex with a dude, a very high-ranking official's son, if the first time after that happens, you said no, you tried to say no twice the first time, the third time you definitely said please don't, because no, it didn't seem to fucking work. Tell me something. Every other time you have sex with that individual after, is that consensual? No. The answer is no. And why? Because the very first fucking time you had sexual intercourse with them, which was rape. Because as soon as you remove consent from that fucking situation, it is rape and it is no longer sex, right? There's no such thing as consent after that. It doesn't exist. So yes, I was raped for 1.5 years. I was caught up in a relationship with a high-ranking official's son. And, and now Drake is employing him to work with kids in an anti-violence program. So, if you think I'm afraid of the dude from Thornhill who was on Degrassi and started being a house artist and now is trying to collaborate with a more street cred rapper, right, who may or may not be from the UK, we're not sure. But, like, my point is this, right? I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're fucking with kids or you're fucking with me, fuck you kindly. Piss the fuck off and stay the fuck away from me from the rest of my fucking life. Leave me alone. I'ma do me. I can guarantee you, under any circumstances, I will do me. You do you. Get the fuck out of my way. Get the fuck out of my way. Oh, the point of that story. Right. He gets migraines now every time after he has sex. My ex who raped me, he gets really bad headaches after he has sexual intercourse now, which is really probably code for I'm raping someone, right? Because I don't know if that guy's ever had consensual sex in his life. He gets migraines. Every time he has sex, but after the orgasm, he's done, he has a headache. I could go on with those type of things. Sometimes those type of things happen. And it scares the shit. It used to scare the shit out of me, right? Because the first few times that type of shit happened, I was like, whoa. It was just one of those things. It was like when I was developing my faith or reconnecting with it. And I was trying to figure out what was real in terms of universal powers and forces and this and that and deities, right? And then these types of things started happening, this karma things, right? These things that I always knew would happen because by law of attraction and by law of the universe and how energy works and knowing who I am and who I've been my entire life, because my life resume will always stack up, right? It's a whole fucking sidewalk. You're walking right into me? Have a nice day. That's the middle finger. You could have walked anywhere, but you walked right into me. Why? Fucking prick. Yo! Bro, fuck you! Sometimes you gotta do shit like that. I actually don't do shit like that often. And that's why I did it. Because I'm a woman. I'm sitting here. I'm recording something. There's so much room here. I cannot express to you. This guy walks right up into me. And to the extent where I had to hold the iPad out of fear that he's gonna fucking try and steal it. Sometimes you gotta be the karma. And sometimes you gotta just let karma do its thing. Most of the time, I let karma do its thing. But you know what? Sometimes you just gotta tell a motherfucker that they a motherfucker. And a lot of you are fucking motherfuckers. Motherfucker. So stay out of my way, right? I'm a peaceful individual. I'm so Yoko Ono. It's so beautiful, but honest to goodness, like, my Pac energy, my Tupac Malcolm X style energy is so fucking high. I wouldn't try me. So don't. I wouldn't. It's not good for your health. It's not good for your karma. I could prove that. I just did, but you don't have to believe me, right? But if you don't believe me, do your research, because I can guarantee you the main people who did their dirty work, their dirtiest work, trying to fuck with me in my life, they ain't doing too well in certain realms right now. In certain realms, they're fucked. She is experiencing the snitch, is experiencing a version of what was happening to me that she actually directly did. And my ex, who raped me for a year and a fucking half, he gets migraines now every time he comes. It's Arielle London saying, think before you do. Leave other people alone. Live life and let life live. Love life and let life love. Live life and let life live. Love life and let life love. I hope that sentence makes sense to you. And I hope this energy makes sense to you. I'm so happy I screamed to that, dude. You fucking deserved it. It's Arielle London saying, peace out, y'all. Enjoy the sunshine when you can find it. Have a picnic wherever you are. And don't forget to stomp on these bitches in your Timbs. Your Timbs and your Yankee caps. Stomp. Stomp on them like you're walking in Harlem. Peace, y'all.